by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky. I go to war, fight. Damn right.
Welcome back to the Professional Stepdad Show. I'm your host, Franco Zavala. Thank you very much for joining me. This is episode 163 of the show. Thank you for listening on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, and of course watching here on YouTube. Today we were going to do kind of a planned episode, but I'm going to kind of go off course here because I got a great question sent to me over the weekend by a stepdad. For some reason, stepdad can't get past his personal interest in what she's doing that he doesn't like. Okay, so stepdad, I know you're going to be listening to this, so I really want you to pay attention to what I'm going to say when it comes to focusing on bad habits instead of praising the good. Here's what I mean. Kids have a tendency to keep doing and continue to do things that we don't like, especially when we're bringing it up and we let them know it annoys us. Now, it's magnified by 50 when we're stepdads because the children, when we come into a blended family, the children are there to test us. They're there to see if we're going to stay. They're going to push their limits. They're going to take things a lot further than you expect them to go, because at the end of the day, what they're fighting for and what you should be fighting for is the right to be trusted within your home. So stepdad, the gentleman that sent in the question, he's stuck. He's stuck because he knows he should be focusing on her good behaviors, but instead he's just consumed by the bad, the cell phone habits, the not asking, the little things that just are getting to him, and it's beginning to affect their relationship. So basically what he's telling me in this email is that he's choosing, remember, it's a choice. He is choosing to focus on all the little things, her little idiosyncrasies. He's choosing to put all of his time, energy, and attention towards them, and he is ignoring all the awesome, amazing, wonderful things she does. And that is not necessarily, I don't want to call it a bad thing. I don't want to say don't address them. But what I am saying is that if you're going to be focusing only the negative stuff is just going to be magnified more. It's going to get worse. It's going to feel worse. And then when something happens, when you're in a conversation with your stepdaughter and something is said or something, you take something the wrong way because you are still dealing with this pent up resentment of her and the fact that she is choosing not to follow your rules or do the things that you think that is correct, it's going to just blow up in your face. So what do we do? What do we do as stepdads when our relationships that we're wanting to build with the kids aren't where we want them to be? Or we really see that the things that they're doing are getting to us? Then we have to kind of take a step back and you have to ask yourself, why is all of this affecting me so much? Why can't I let go? Why can't I let go of the little tiny things? Why does everything have to be such a big deal? And it all is going to stem back to the way you were raised. It's going to stem back to the men and the women and the leaders in your life that instilled these habits, routines, and ideas and thoughts in your head, and you believe them to be true because they have to be true. Look at you. You're an adult that's getting along in this world. Maybe you've built some success, so you think that your way is the right way. My 17-year-old daughter, when I want to get upset with her about little things that don't necessarily make sense, or, when she thinks something is a huge deal and I don't, she told me once that it's all relative. She's like, Dad, but it's important to me. This bothers me. It's relative to me in my life as a 17-year-old girl right now. And I had to start seeing things from her perspective, like from the way where she's coming from, because what is not necessarily a big deal to me might be a huge deal to her, and I can't dismiss it. I can't just push it aside like it's not a big deal, because then what I'm telling her is that I'm not listening, or I don't want to listen, and I'm right, you're wrong, do what I say, and if you don't, the consequences are all on you. As men, we want to try to solve everyone's problems. We want to try to be the solution to the tiniest things. And sometimes we just need people to listen. Sometimes they need us to listen, and we need to listen. So when it comes to the little baby habits, the little things that are getting to you, stepdad, I highly recommend that you write all the things down that is just getting under your skin. Write it down all on a piece of paper so you can see it, read it out loud, and then I would just crumble that son of a bitch up and throw it in the trash and move on. Because the more you give energy to these little tiny things that are minute and really don't matter, the more you give it energy, the more you give it your time, the more it pays, all the situations that are happening with your stepdaughter, the more all of that occurs, and the more you kind of feed energy into it, the longer it's going to stay. Sometimes it's more healthy for us to identify what it is that's angering us, what it is that's bothering us, to write it down so we can see it and we can speak it out loud, and then to just burn it, throw it away, put it in the trash, so you can subconsciously see that, and then kind of move forward. I would also recommend that you get to know who she is, because she's 15, which means there's a lot of changes going on in her life. So take some time and just pay attention to what she's into, what she likes, what she doesn't like, her friends, their names, like little tiny things that will show her as you progress forward that you actually care and that she matters and that you're listening and you're paying attention. But always also remember that when you kind of dig into her about her cell phone habits or the fact that she does things without asking for permission, there's ways you can spin this in order to kind of see it as a benefit, to kind of show her that not only does it not bother you, but you've chosen to find and extract the good out of what you considered bad. For instance, you said something along the lines that her way of telling and not asking bothers you. Okay, but it also shows the sign of leadership. I mean, the fact that she's confident and sure about what she wants to do and that she doesn't have a lot of questions means that she's a decision maker. Now, I'm breaking this down in a way where we're trying to take adjective words, we're trying to take descriptive words out of the things that she's doing wrong so that you could take those words and use them in a conversation with her. For instance, hey, sweetheart, I just wanted to let you know that I think that your ability to be a leader, you have this innate ability to just lead others. You're really confident and you know what you want in this role. And I kind of envy that, because I didn't know what I wanted when I was 15 for sure. But the fact that you kind of understand it and you get it, I love that you take initiative and that you move forward in the things that you want. All I would ask is just have a conversation with me about it. Not necessarily to ask for permission, but just so I can be kept in the loop. Maybe I might be interested in what you're doing or I've done it before, and I have a little bit of insight or a little bit of knowledge to offer you. So what you've done there, stepdad, is you've told her, you've highlighted, again, so we've taken the thing that you didn't like. She doesn't ask for permission, she does instead of asks. We've taken that negative thing that you've chosen to focus on. We've extracted the good out of it. Leadership, decision-making, confidence. And we've used those words in a sentence or in a conversation with her to build her up. So she's been taken off the defense now, and she actually sees, wow, okay. And she's going to live by these words: leadership, decision maker. Praise them, and then just simply throw in there, have a conversation. Just communicate with me. That's it. That's all I ask. All I ask is you communicate with me. I love the confidence. I mean, shit, I wish I had it. Kind of build into it like that. That'll help build the relationship. Don't go too far into this conversation and then just move on. And I'm telling you, by doing that, by taking the negative, extracting the positive, figuring out these words and writing them down so you can see them, and then starting a conversation with her that is specific around these words when you're talking about her and who she is as a woman, it'll empower her. So then she will want to now involve you because she sees that you care. So it's important that you remember that, stepdad. All this energy and all this attention that you're giving the negative and the things that are bothering you, extract good out of it. Extract positive out of it. Figure out these descriptive words that you can use in a conversation with your stepdaughter. And then simply have a conversation. That's it. I mean, I wish I could tell you different, but cell phone habits that used to bother me too. The kids are always on the phone, always on their phone, always looking at their phone. And then my dad told me, son, all you did was watch TV, get home after school, you're in front of the TV for hours. So again, like my daughter said to me in a conversation once when I didn't believe that what she was going through in her life was a big deal, she says, Dad, it's all relative. It's a big deal to me. So pick and choose your battles, stepdad. You can't win them all, you can't lose them all, but you can learn from them all. I hope that helps, stepdad. All right, guys, that's episode 163. Today, questions and answers. Tomorrow, we're going to be going into a subject called you only fail when you quit. Ain't that the truth? But yet, so many of us don't know. Until next time, be well. Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Listen, if you know a stepdad who is in need of any of this information, do me a favor right now. Hit that subscribe button and share this episode with them as fast as possible. Did you do it? Okay, you did it.
Quiet on the set, please. Thank you, everybody.